Hello, everyone. This is my last, I think, post about the movies. Tim wanted me to take sci-fi, which I'm thrilled to do. Um, we're gonna watch Ex Machina this week, and I think it's great. First of all, it's an A24 film, and A24 film a company is unique in that it's not like one of the big studios. They don't spend hundreds of millions of dollars making movies on just a few projects. They spend a couple $1 million on a whole bunch of projects. And so they are really embracing the indie film industry. And they gamble on a lot of different films. And some of their films are just okay, not great, but some have been really amazing. And Ex Machina, which was made way back in 2015, so 11 years ago, has been very successful. This and a whole bunch of others. So I really respect the company. I'm an independent filmmaker myself, and so the idea of giving a chance to young and up and coming filmmakers, I think, is really great. So and they do a large variety of films. I think they do a lot of horror because horror does really well on small budgets. But today or this session, we're going to talk about sci-fi. And sci-fi is kind of a genre that you love it or you hate it. And I don't think it should be that way. I love it, but not all sci-fi. I don't watch much on the Sci-Fi Channel. But the really good films I love. But what often is the case is that science fiction films are matched with something else. So, for example, on a couple of the films that we put on the list, we have Passengers, which is clearly sci-fi. It takes place way in the future. It's about bringing people to other planets to live, but it's really a love story. And so, if you like love stories, that's a film right up your alley, and I think you would like that. Edge of Tomorrow, the Tom Cruise film, definitely science fiction. They're fighting these aliens, but it's also an action film. There's fighting and big battles and strategic elements, and so there's a bit of that. Maybe one of my favorite sci-fi films is Arrival, and it deals with aliens. Often is the case, but they're highly intelligent, very unique, and they're not out. Even though they're intimidating, they're not out to get us like in a Quiet Place or what's the Will Smith film, Independence Day, where they're trying to blow up the planet or take over or whatever. So kill all humans. But sci-fi can be a huge range of topics. One of the things that you got to know about science fiction is that they almost always are critiquing modern society. Star Trek, which started as a television program, was known for taking some element of our society and basically discussing whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, or what are the potential problems or benefits of technology. The big thing right now is AI. We're seeing it in our society. Ex Machina does it, but I mean, if you think of Terminator or the new movie AI, Spielberg's film, or Bicentennial Man that starred Robin Williams, these are uh, you know, AI, artificial intelligence, but in the humanoid forms. And then there are sweet ones like Bicentennial Man and AI, where you're supposed to sympathize with the um, uh, new being, the character in the film, because they become sentient. So they have feelings and emotions. Um, and then there are others like Ex Machina, or even worse, the Terminator, where they don't care about humans. They kind of self-realize and will do anything it takes to survive, and can be, deadly. Um, and this is the things that we have to think about now that AI is becoming a real thing in society. We need to think of the potential problems. There are going to be some great things. My wife works in the medical field, and research is going to speed up, and they're going to discover cures to diseases and things like that way faster than they would without AI. And I think that's a real benefit. I mean, we all want to um, live longer and healthier and such. But I'm worried about AI taking jobs away. Um, I think I'm nearing retirement, so I'm pretty safe. But all of you who are in college, you're probably looking for careers, and you think about. I just went to see my son in San Francisco, and everywhere I looked is a Waymo. So all those driving jobs are gone. I hear that the long distance truck driving jobs are disappearing really fast, that AI are driving the big rigs, not locally, but when they go from the East Coast to West Coast or vice versa, those jobs are, those driving jobs are going away. And yeah, in some ways it might be safer. People aren't falling asleep at the wheel, but there are hundreds, thousands of people who make their living driving, and it's now gone. Um, you know, in the art world, filmmaking. I have a famous special effects person, someone who works in the industry is coming to see our class this fall semester. And one of the questions I'm going to ask him is, how is AI changing special effects or visual effects in the film industry? I've already talked to him about it, and he said that they used to have like 500 people who would do all of the work. Things like there would be cables holding characters up if they're flying or whatever, and frame by frame, there were people who were, drawing out those things, and it took a lot of time, and so a lot of people. Now AI can do that in seconds, so those jobs are going away, and so the opportunities for getting into the industry are going away. And so I'm afraid of that type of thing is, what are we going to all do when AI is able to do all these things faster and cheaper than we do? So these are the things that we're thinking about. Ava in Ex Machina is AI, and we're supposed to think, I think we're supposed to feel sympathetic, but ultimately, I don't want to spoil things. So if you're watching this this video before you watch the movie, let me give you a spoiler now. So pause it, wait, watch the movie first. One of the things I wanted to talk about is the surprise ending. And I don't think everyone always gets the ending in Ex Machina. At the end, it says Ava Session 7. What does that mean to you? At this point, Nathan is already dead. He's been stabbed in the back by his own creation, a lot like Frankenstein, and was defeated by his own creation. And Caleb is locked away and no longer doing the Turing test. So why Ava Session 7? Well, it kind of indicates that she is, I mean, in her bionic mind, these are her sessions. She's testing them. And that's what she does, is she works Caleb until she gets what she wants out of him and is able to escape. And so it's a much darker end than what we thought in the beginning. Anyways, I didn't want to spoil that for those people who are watching. But back to the film. This, by the way, Alex Garland, I love him as a director. He wrote and directed the film. He was nominated for Best Original Screenplay, and the film won for Best Visual Effects. I think the way Ava looks and she's transparent and the way she moves and all of that, I thought was just brilliant. Um, Even though it was 11 years ago when the film was made. Um, I don't know what are some other things I wanted to talk about. Oh, by the way, I was Alex Garland, his first film, and an amazing first film. I thought it was a great debut. Um, the character of Nathan, I think, is really interesting. I think it's his company is supposed to be like a Google or an Apple, where they have all this information and all this power, and they're using it. That's another comment, sci-fi commenting on society. Too much power, too much control going to the rich corporations. Corporations shouldn't be running our country. Our government should be running the country, and it should not be being dictated to or controlled by corporations. It should be by the voters. It's a little political input. Maybe you disagree, but I think there's too much money in politics. And I think that the film is somewhat commenting on Nathan's character being, at one point they have the conversation, if you remember, where he said he was capturing everyone's data from their cell phones and the government just let him do it. Because why? He's rich and powerful. And then what is the result? It will kill him and maybe ultimately all of us. So, anyways, I think it is a very I don't know, powerful or telling story. Makes you think about AI. Um, yeah, I know that there are benefits to it. Some of you must love it because it's becoming an important tool. But when it comes to AI and video and filmmaking, I hate how AI videos are always streaming in my on TikTok or Facebook or whatever YouTube, whatever I watch, and they're becoming so good it's hard to tell what is AI and what is not. Older generations, my parents have no clue. They'll say, "Oh my God, look at this," and I said, "That's AI." But it's getting harder and harder to tell the difference because AI is so good. That could be a bad thing. If your friend can make, or a friend, you have an enemy who doesn't like you, they can create a video of you doing something unethical or something that will hurt your reputation. So I don't know. There's some really, so there's some real problems with AI that we have to figure out. And right now, AI companies have free reign to do whatever they want. And that could be a problem. There needs to be some ethics and some oversight. So, anyways, all things that the film brings up. Other sci-fi films, we gave you some options, things you can watch. But what are issues that they deal with? Um, you know, because I think just about every single science fiction film makes a comment about a modern day society. What technology are we using that can be problematic? I love the show Black Mirror. By the way, Domhnall Gleeson, who plays Caleb in this film, played an AI character in Black Mirror. But Black Mirror is a British television program, and it deals with technology, and it's supposed to be kind of the future, but it's undefined how far. But it's all issues. Social media. There's several episodes about that and how social media is really controlling our lives. They spend so much time to get it, time and energy and money trying to get us addicted, so we stay on it, and staying on it is really bad. It's everything in moderation, and AI is. I mean, I'm sorry, social media. We tend to do or not use moderation. We tend to do it for too long and too much, and so it's a problem. So, addiction, in a Minority Report, there's it deals with addiction as well. So, anyways, whatever a sci-fi movie you like, my guess is that the film is commenting on kind of issues that we're dealing with in society now. So I love the genre. I hope you love it too. And if you don't, keep an open mind and see how it is commenting about society. So, anyways, thank you. I'm looking forward to see what you have to write about the well, Ex Machina and any other sci-fi films that you want to watch.